Welcome to this life-changing video. I want you to take a deep breath right now and forget everything that's distracting you. Because what you're about to hear could be the most important message you've received in a long, long time. This video is not just about motivation. It's not about quotes. It's not about believe in yourself and move on. This video is about transformation. And that transformation starts with a deep truth that most people never realize until it's too late. The best investment in the world is not gold, is not real estate, is not stocks. It's you. It has always been you. While the world teaches you how to chase everything outside of yourself, money, followers, fame, likes, relationships, no one teaches you how to build your inner value. No one teaches you how to grow your mind, how to build your confidence, how to develop the discipline that creates real success, and how to design a life that doesn't need to be escaped from. That's why this video was created. In this video, we're going to go through 15 of the most powerful, practical, emotional, and life-changing ways to invest in yourself. Not in theory, not in boring advice, but in ways that actually work, ways that changed lives, ways that can change yours, starting today. And if you're learning English, this video is also perfect for you, because every sentence here is spoken in simple, clear English, designed to help you understand deeply, learn vocabulary, and improve your fluency while you grow as a person. So don't just watch this for motivation. Watch it to upgrade your life. Watch it to improve your English. Watch it for your future. And most importantly, watch it till the end. Because the last few self-investments we'll talk about might be the exact reason why your life has felt stuck. If you're ready to become the best version of yourself, if you're ready to invest in the one person who truly matters, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's begin. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because this is just the beginning of a journey that will completely change your life. Way 1. Read for growth. Not for speed, not for show. Let me tell you something that most people don't realize. The person you are today is a result of the thoughts you've repeated. And those thoughts come from the information you consume. So if you want to upgrade your life, you must first upgrade your mind. And one of the most powerful, affordable, and life-changing ways to do that is this: read every single day. But wait, I'm not talking about school books. I'm not talking about finishing 52 books in 52 weeks just to look smart on social media. I'm not talking about reading for fun or entertainment. I'm talking about reading for transformation, reading to grow, reading to think differently, reading to destroy your limitations and build a new mindset from the ground up. Most people stop reading after school. They believe learning is only for students, so they scroll, they swipe, they binge, they consume memes, gossip, reels, and comparison. And years go by. They feel depressed, confused, empty, but they don't know why. The reason is simple. They stopped feeding their mind. Your brain is like a muscle. If you stop using it, it becomes weak, tired, and slow. But when you read powerful books, you lift heavy weights of wisdom, clarity, language, and vision. You become mentally stronger than 99% of people. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Daniel. He wasn't rich. He wasn't smart in school. He failed many subjects. Everyone around him said he would never succeed. He started working at a warehouse, lifting boxes, working night shifts, coming home tired, no hope. One day, on the lunch break, someone left a book on the table. Daniel picked it up. It was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He read the first page, then the second. Then he didn't stop. That night, he searched for more books. He began reading about self-discipline, mindset, financial intelligence, confidence, leadership, building value, finding purpose. He didn't just read once. He read every night, for months, then years. He didn't talk much, but inside, his mind was on fire. Today, Daniel is not a warehouse worker. He runs his own business. He leads teams. He writes articles. He teaches others. And it all began with one decision. I will not go to bed until I've read at least one page. That's the power of reading for growth. Now maybe you're thinking, but I don't know what to read. And my English isn't strong. What should I do? Here's the answer. Start small, start simple, but start powerfully. Don't worry about finishing the book. Worry about understanding the book. Here are some beginner-friendly books that are easy, short, and life-changing. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz teaches you how to stop suffering from overthinking. Atomic Habits by James Clear teaches you how small changes create huge results. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson teaches you how to deal with change. Ikigai teaches you how to find purpose. The Power of Now teaches you how to stop anxiety and live in the present. The Alchemist, a story about chasing your dream and listening to your heart. The Magic of Thinking Big helps you believe you're capable of more. You don't need to understand every word. Underline what feels powerful. Read the same page twice if needed. Don't read fast. Read deeply. When you start reading every day, even just one page, something amazing begins to happen. Your vocabulary grows. Your thinking becomes clear. You become more confident in conversation. You begin to speak better English. You stop thinking like a victim. You develop mental discipline. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You become wiser, calmer, and harder to manipulate. You start asking better questions. You become unstoppable. Reading is not just learning. Reading is becoming. You become a better version of yourself, page by page, day by day. Here's a challenge for you. Never go to sleep without reading at least one page of a good book. 1 page a day equals 365 pages a year. That's one full book. Now imagine you read 5 pages a day, 10 pages a day. Within a year, your thoughts, your language, your confidence will be 10 times better. And guess what? Most of the world won't even read 10 full books after leaving school. If you read 1 book a month, you're already ahead of 90% of people. You don't need luck. You don't need money. You don't need perfect English. You just need a book and a decision. You want to invest in yourself? Start with your mind. Books are mentors that never charge you. They're available 24/7. They don't judge you. And they never stop teaching. One sentence from the right book can change your entire future. So go get one. Open the first page and start building a brain that no one can ignore. Way 2. Learn English, the language of global opportunity. If you want to start investing in yourself, truly, deeply, and in a way that creates more opportunities for your future, then the first thing you must do is this. Learn English. Yes, English. Not because it's cool. Not because people will think you're smart. But because English is the key to unlocking a world of knowledge, freedom, confidence, and success. Let me explain. Today, the internet runs in English. Most of the world's books, interviews, podcasts, TED Talks, business deals, global conversations all happen in English. If you don't speak English, it's like you're standing outside a room full of wisdom, success, and growth, while the door is wide open, but you can't step inside. That's why learning English is not just a school subject. It's an investment in your voice, your future, and your power to speak for yourself. Let me tell you a real story. There was a boy from a small town in Vietnam. No one in his family spoke English. He was shy, poor. He worked in a mechanic shop with his father. He failed English exams again and again in school. People called him dumb, but he didn't give up. Every night, after work, he would sit with an old phone and listen to English YouTube videos. He couldn't understand a single sentence at first, but he kept listening. He wrote down new words. He repeated phrases in front of the mirror. He shadowed videos line by line. No teacher, no class, no help, just consistency. And slowly, he started to understand. He started to speak. And one day, he created a YouTube channel in English. Today, that same boy has millions of subscribers, speaks fluently, travels the world, and earns more than 100 times what he used to. He didn't win because he was smart. He won because he invested in the one skill that gave him a voice. That skill was English. But what if you're scared or feel too old? Here's the truth. You are not too old. You are not too weak. You are not too late. You just need to start with simple actions. Speak to yourself in English for 5 minutes every day. Watch videos with subtitles. Write your thoughts in English. Learn 5 words a day. Talk to the mirror. Don't care about grammar at first. Care about courage. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to start speaking. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You just need to sound like you, with confidence. Learning English is not like buying a phone. A phone gets old. Your clothes get old. Even your body gets old. But the skills you build, especially language skills, they grow, they compound, and they open new doors for the rest of your life. With English, you can study anything from anywhere, get international jobs, work from home for foreign companies, teach others and earn, speak to anyone in the world, start your own YouTube channel, podcast, or blog, travel confidently, learn any new topic 10 times faster, and most importantly, you stop feeling trapped in silence. You start feeling powerful in communication. You want freedom? Learn English? You want confidence? Learn English. You want to grow faster than 90% of people around you? Learn English. It's not just a language. It's your weapon, your tool, your passport to the future. Start small. Start now. But never stop. Way 3. Find a mentor. Learn from experience you haven't lived yet. In every great system, whether it's a business, a military unit, or even nature itself, there is a principle of guidance. The young learn by observing the experienced. The beginner survives by learning from those who've already failed and recovered. This is not just wisdom. This is survival. And that's why one of the greatest investments you can ever make in yourself is this. Find a mentor. But not just anyone who's older. Not just someone who talks a lot. Not someone with a title or degree. A mentor is someone who has already achieved, or survived, what you are currently struggling with. A mentor has lived your future. They've made mistakes you haven't made yet. And because of that, they can collapse 10 years of struggle into 1 year of growth. Let's take an industry example. The airline industry. Every single commercial pilot, no matter how talented, must train under an experienced pilot. Why? Because you can't read about engine failure and understand the panic of real-world failure. You can't simulate the human reaction of losing altitude until you've been in a cockpit with a mentor who has faced it and survived. So pilots do hundreds of hours with a senior flight instructor beside them. They learn what not to do, what to ignore, what to pay attention to, what to expect in storms, how to respond when things go wrong. That mentor is not just teaching flight. They are teaching survival. And that principle applies to your life too. Here's what happens when you don't have a mentor. You try to figure everything out alone. You repeat the same mistakes thousands of people have already made. You waste months on the wrong books, wrong plans, wrong tools. You get stuck in perfectionism because you don't know what good enough looks like. You quit early because you have no one telling you, this is normal. Keep going. The price of not having a mentor is not just slower growth, it's unnecessary suffering. A real mentor doesn't give you fish. They don't spoon-feed you. They do something far more powerful. They show you how to think. They teach you how to prioritize, eliminate distractions, focus on systems, not luck, make better decisions, recover faster from failure. See the long game instead of short-term wins. Mentors upgrade your software, your thinking engine, so your results start to change automatically. How to find a mentor, even if you're unknown or broke. Forget what you've been told. You don't need a famous mentor. You don't need to beg. You need to do these 3 things. 1. Find people one level ahead of you. Example: if you're learning to design logos, don't try to DM the CEO of Nike. Look for someone who just landed their first freelance client. That's someone whose experience is fresh. They remember the struggle. They can speak to your stage. 2. Give before you ask. In nature, there's no such thing as free energy. If you want a mentor's time, attention, or advice, give value first. What kind of value? Share their work. Leave a detailed, thoughtful comment. Write about something they taught you. Offer to help with small tasks. Proofreading, design, feedback. Show that you are a student who applies knowledge, not just collects it. Most people ask for a mentor like this. Can you mentor me? Wrong. Ask like this. Hi, I read your article on portfolio design. I followed your method, built a new portfolio, and got my first reply from a client. Thank you. Can I ask you one more question about pricing? This shows respect, action, effort. That message gets a reply. 3. Pay for it if needed, because your future is worth it. Sometimes mentorship costs money. That's not a scam. That's a shortcut with accountability. If you're stuck and a mentor offers a paid session, treat it like fuel. If it saves you 6 months of pain, was it worth $100? Absolutely. The most successful industries require mentorship. Pilots, surgeons, soldiers, builders, athletes. They all grow under someone who has seen more and survived more. Don't be afraid to follow someone who has walked your path. Be afraid of walking blindly into failure you could have avoided. Your mentor doesn't need to be a hero. They just need to be one chapter ahead. Find them, study them, serve them, learn from them. That's how you multiply your growth and save your future. Way 4. Sell something. Discover the truth about confidence, value, and freedom. Now let's talk about something that has transformed lives, built empires, and rescued people from financial ruin. Selling. Selling is not begging. It's not scamming. It's not manipulation. Selling is simply this. Here is something valuable. Do you want it? That's it. And that simple action, offering something for value in return, is the engine of personal power. The people who sell control their time, control their income, control their future. But the people who are afraid to sell, they wait, they depend, they suffer. Let's look at something as simple as a supermarket. Do they create food from scratch? No. Do they plant the rice or catch the fish? No. They organize, present, and sell value. A banana might cost 30 cents at the market, but $1 in a supermarket. Why? Because it's packaged, clean, easy to grab. The banana didn't change, but the presentation of value did. That's the power of selling. If you can, take something raw, package it with care, explain its value simply, deliver it to the right person. Then you can sell. And if you can sell once, you can sell again. And if you can sell again, you're no longer dependent on anyone. When you sell something, even once, you instantly improve your speaking and listening, confidence and rejection handling, money mindset, empathy and service, resourcefulness. Selling teaches you what people value, not what you think is valuable. That's a skill books can't give you, only experience can. Let's break the myth right now. You don't need a business. You don't need a factory. You don't need thousands of followers. All you need is one small offer, one person who needs it, one sentence that explains the result. Example, can you design a basic logo? Offer to do one for $10. Can you edit videos? Offer to edit 1-minute reels for small creators. Can you teach spoken English? Offer one 30-minute class. Can you write product descriptions? Offer one for $5. The goal is not to become a millionaire overnight. The goal is this. I offered something. Someone paid me. I now believe I can create income with my own value. That belief is the root of freedom. The moment you sell something, ask for feedback. Ask for a testimonial. Improve the offer. Raise the price slightly. Repeat to a new group. Then create a system. A simple message you send to new people. A portfolio or screenshot. A calendar or delivery time. A follow-up message. With this, you have your first mini business. And from that, your self-respect grows like wildfire. Before selling, most people feel like beggars. Can I get a job? Can someone give me money? Am I good enough? But after selling, the mindset shifts. I can create value. I don't need permission. If I can sell this, I can build something. That confidence doesn't come from affirmations. It comes from doing. One sale, one message, one offer. That's where your power starts. Selling is not about shouting. It's about understanding. Understanding what someone needs and helping them get it. The banana didn't change, but the way it was offered did. You don't need to change who you are. You need to package what you already have and offer it. When you learn to sell, you stop being afraid of rejection. You stop waiting. You start building. You take your power back, one sale at a time. Way 5. Build a second income stream. Don't let your future depend on one job. Let's face the brutal truth that most people never want to hear. If your only source of income is your job, your freedom is an illusion. Because if the company fails, if the boss changes, if the rules shift, if you get sick, if the economy crashes, your entire life collapses overnight. That's why one of the smartest, strongest, and most life-changing investments you can ever make is this. Build a second income stream. One that doesn't depend on your job, your energy, or your availability. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, imagine a small local coffee shop. Their entire income comes from one thing: customers walking in and ordering coffee. But what if one day there's a flood, or a lockdown, or construction outside, or customers stop coming? That shop, no matter how good it is finished. Now imagine if that same coffee shop also sold branded mugs online, delivered cold brews through an app, offered coffee bean subscriptions, uploaded coffee tutorials on YouTube, taught barista skills through an online course, partnered with offices for weekly supply deliveries. Now what happens if the physical shop shuts down for a week? They still earn. That's the power of multiple income streams. What is a second income stream? It's something you build once, and it pays you again and again without you needing to be there all the time. It could be selling a digital product, ebook, template, design, course. Affiliate marketing, promoting someone else's product and earning a percentage. Investing in rental property, dividend stocks, or automated stores. Licensing your photos, music, writing, or ideas. This is not about getting rich fast. This is about never being poor again, even when your job disappears. How to start building your second stream, even if you're a beginner. Pick a skill you already know, no matter how small. Example: typing fast, cooking, painting, organizing, using Canva, basic finance, making tea. Turn it into something teachable, sellable, or scalable. Can you teach it? Create a mini video series or ebook. Sell it? Offer a package online. Design templates, journal PDFs, posters. Use it? Start a side service. Freelance editing, small brand design, tutoring. Create a one-time asset. Example: make 10 simple templates and sell them on Gumroad. Record 3 videos on how to build a Canva resume and put them on YouTube. Build one Notion planner and sell it to students. Set up the system to run without you. Use platforms like Payhip, Etsy, Gumroad, Skillshare, or YouTube. Add basic automation, email, delivery. Answer messages once a day, not live every hour. Market it slowly but consistently. Post once a week. Create one piece of content explaining how your product helps. Share feedback or reviews. Build trust through repetition. Let's be very real. If your life is tied to one salary, one client, one project, you are one decision away from disaster. All it takes is one email that says, "We're letting you go." One medical emergency, one life event, and everything you built for 10 years can vanish. Unless you have something else that pays you while you sleep. Building a second income stream also builds confidence. You don't fear losing your job anymore. Creativity. You learn how to turn ideas into income. Patience. Building assets takes time, and you become disciplined. Skill. You learn tech, marketing, communication, systems. It's not about becoming rich. It's about becoming unshakable. This is your emergency parachute, your backup engine, your safety net, and maybe your future full-time dream. Don't wait until life forces you. Start small. Build slowly. But never again depend on only one source to feed your dreams. Way 6. Upgrade your tools. The quality of your tools reflects the quality of your standards. Let's now talk about something that seems small, but changes everything. The tools you use are silently shaping the quality of your work, your time, and your confidence. If you're using old, slow, broken, or cheap tools, you're not just slowing down your progress. You're silently telling your brain, My work doesn't deserve better. That's why one of the smartest self-investments you can make is this. Upgrade your tools. Not for show, not for flex, but because better tools create better results. Imagine a carpenter. He builds wooden furniture. Now imagine he uses a hammer that's 10 years old. The grip is loose. The handle slips. The head is chipped. He hits a nail. It bends. He redoes it. He gets frustrated. The wood cracks. He spends more time fixing than creating. Then he buys a new, balanced, shock-resistant hammer. Now every nail goes in straight. The grip feels right. He finishes faster. His results improve. Same carpenter, same skill, but with the right tool, he becomes 2 times better. What are tools in your life? A chair that keeps your posture straight. A laptop that doesn't freeze when you open 3 tabs. A phone that takes good videos for your content. A microphone that makes your voice clear. A faster internet plan that saves 30 minutes a day. A good pair of shoes if you walk a lot. A solid table for studying. A better app that automates your daily routine. A set of books, planners, headphones, or lighting. These tools are not extras. They are extensions of your brain. Every poor tool adds micro-frustration. Every good tool adds silent confidence. Cheap earphones make your online call sound low quality. Old camera makes your good product look bad. Lagging laptop makes you avoid work. Weak desk light strains your eyes. Broken chair hurts your back, ruins focus. Weak app causes errors, wastes time. Every single tool you use is either saving you time, saving your health, helping you create better work, or it's doing the opposite, quietly draining you. You don't need to buy everything at once. Do this step by step. Make a list of the 3 tools you use most often. Where do you feel slow, irritated, tired? Pick one tool to upgrade this month. Can you get a better mouse, chair, planner, or lamp? If a tool saves you 1 hour every week, that's 52 hours a year. If it costs $36, then $36 divided by 52 hours equals $0.69 per hour. So you're paying just 69 cents per hour saved. If your time is worth more than 69 cents an hour, it's a smart investment. Sell or give away the old one. Make room. Treat your tools with respect. When you work with better tools, you feel more professional. You respect your work more. You don't procrastinate as much. You enjoy the process. You stop saying, "I'll do it later." You finish faster, with better quality. Tools affect behavior. Behavior affects results. Results affect identity. A master can do great work with bad tools, but he will do greater work with great tools. Stop forcing your brain to carry the weight your tools should be carrying. You are not lazy. Your tools might be slow. You are not unmotivated. Your tools might be ugly. You are not behind. Your tools might be holding you back. Upgrade one tool today, and watch how your entire system upgrades tomorrow. Way 7. Improve your communication. The most profitable skill in the world. You can be intelligent, you can be creative, you can be highly skilled. But if you cannot explain your ideas clearly, you will always be misunderstood, underestimated, and underpaid. That's why one of the most powerful self-investments in the world is this. Improve your communication. Not public speaking, not debate, not speaking English fluently. We already covered that. I mean clear, impactful, respectful communication. Whether you're talking to a client, a friend, your boss, your parents, your audience, or even yourself. Let's imagine 2 experts working at a medical lab. Both have discovered a new solution that could change public health. The first scientist has all the data, charts, equations, years of testing. But when she speaks, she sounds cold, technical, robotic. People don't understand her. She explains the what and the how, but never the why. She talks for 10 minutes, but no one remembers anything. The second scientist says, imagine if your child had asthma and couldn't play outside. Now imagine that this new solution could change that child's life in 3 months, without side effects. Then he pauses, shows one simple image, and explains the results with calm, clear confidence. What happens? The second scientist gets the funding. The audience trusts him. The government invites him to speak again. Same science, same facts, different communication. This is the truth of life. People don't buy the best ideas. They buy the best explained ideas. When you learn to communicate better, everything improves. Your job interviews, your meetings, your relationships, your self-respect, your leadership, your ability to teach, sell, lead, inspire, connect. Communication is the skill that connects your brain to the world. If you master it, people listen to you. If you don't, people ignore you, even if you have genius inside you. It's not about talking more. It's about making the other person understand your idea clearly and feel something. Great communicators listen deeply before they speak. Use simple words instead of complicated ones. Give examples to make things visual. Pause when they speak instead of rushing. Respect time, short but powerful sentences. Use tone, not just words. Speak from the heart, not just from the mind. How to start improving communication. Today, beginner plan. Speak slower on purpose. Fast talk equals fear. Calm speech equals control. Record yourself explaining something simple. Example: how to make tea. Listen to the playback. Do you sound clear? Use the mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and say, here's what I believe. Here's why I believe it. Here's what I want to say. Watch one TED Talk per week. But not just for fun. Study it like a student. Pause. Repeat lines. Learn phrasing. Read aloud for 5 minutes daily. It helps you pronounce clearly and become aware of your tone. Don't focus on big words. Focus on big clarity. Asking for help. Giving honest feedback. Saying no without guilt. Pitching your idea in 1 minute. Explaining your skills in an interview. Introducing yourself in a way people remember. The more you practice, the more your confidence rises. If you look at presidents, business owners, spiritual leaders, YouTubers, authors, teachers, what do they all have in common? They know how to communicate a message that makes people feel seen, understood, and inspired. That's not talent. That's a trainable skill, and you can start training it right now. The world is full of people with talent who are invisible. Don't let that be you. If you can speak clearly, you can lead, you can sell, you can build trust, you can teach, you can change lives. The fastest way to multiply your power in any room is to learn how to speak in a way that people feel, remember, and respect. That's communication, and it will never stop being your most valuable asset. Way 8. Explore creativity regularly. Fuel the mind that solves problems and creates opportunities. Let's now go deeper into something most people ignore, but every successful person secretly protects: their creative space. Because here's what most people never understand. Creativity is not just for artists. It is the fuel behind every invention, solution, business, movement, and breakthrough. It doesn't matter if you are an engineer, teacher, entrepreneur, student, designer, coder, or homemaker. If your brain stops playing, if it stops imagining, if it only runs in straight lines, you slowly die inside. That's why one of the greatest self-investments you can make is this. Explore creativity regularly, not once a year, not on weekends, but like you would feed your body, feed your imagination. Let's take two technology companies. Company A is brilliant, logical, structured. Everyone works 9 to 5. They follow systems, they follow deadlines, they follow rules. But they never question the rules. They never play with ideas. They never experiment. Their products are good, but never great. Company B also has structure. But once a week, every team must present a crazy idea session. No filters, no limits, no fear of failure. In that session, one employee suggests a new button that changes how users interact. That one idea becomes the next billion-dollar product. Why? Because creativity was not just allowed, it was valued. That's what you need in your life too. Creativity is thinking of new solutions when the old ones fail, designing your daily life in a way that energizes you, finding a new way to say "I love you" to someone you care about, solving a problem no one else sees, starting a new project, channel, design, or business when others say it's not possible. Creativity is not painting. It's solving life with color and courage. You don't need to be an artist. You just need to give your brain permission to play. Simple action that bring creative energy. Walk in silence with no phone. Allow thoughts to form. Keep a crazy ideas notebook. Write 5 wild ideas every week. Visit a museum, art gallery, or nature spot once a month. Use a new app to make something visual, even a poster or slide. Try writing a small story, poem, or scene. Rearrange your room for fun. Listen to music you don't understand. Just feel it. Watch animated shorts and creative films, even 5-minute ones. This sounds small, but it keeps your mental oxygen flowing. When the job market shifts, they adapt. When the business fails, they redesign. When others quit, they reinvent. When nothing makes sense, they draw their own map. That's not magic. That's creativity trained through regular exploration. The world doesn't belong to the smartest. It belongs to the most creative problem solvers. When your brain is trained to imagine, reimagine, and explore, you stop depending on instructions. You start creating your own answers. That is power. And that is why creativity is not a waste of time. It is a weapon of the future. Way 9. Question your beliefs. Reprogram the invisible rules that control your life. Let's start with a difficult but honest truth. You are not living your life. You are living your beliefs. And most of those beliefs were not created by you. Your beliefs about money, love, time, happiness, fear, failure, and success were formed from childhood experiences. Teachers, society, culture, religion, social media, past trauma, people who gave up on their dreams. So when someone says, "You can't do that," and you believe it, that belief becomes a wall. Not because the wall is real, but because you stopped questioning it. That's why one of the deepest and most life-changing investments you can make in yourself is this. Learn to question your beliefs before they become your prison. This is one of the oldest, most powerful non-human examples in psychology. In many circuses, when a baby elephant is born, they tie its leg to a small rope connected to a wooden peg in the ground. The baby elephant tries to escape. It pulls, it struggles, it gets tired. Eventually, it gives up. A few months pass. The elephant becomes bigger, stronger. massive. But the trainer never changes the rope. The peg is still small. And guess what? The elephant never tries to escape again. Why? Because it no longer believes it can. The belief became stronger than the body. That's what false beliefs do to you. I'm too old to start now. I'm not good with money. I always fail. People like me don't succeed. I need a degree to be respected. I'll never be fluent in English. If I'm not perfect, I'll be judged. If I say no, they'll leave me. If I try something new, I'll fail. None of these are facts. They are beliefs, often programmed by other people who were afraid. This is not about positive thinking. This is about mental rewiring. Here's how to do it step by step. Identify the belief. Ask, what do I keep telling myself? I'm not smart enough. I'll always be poor. I'm not good at relationships. Write it down. Ask, who gave me this belief? Was it a parent, a teacher, a boss, a heartbreak, a mistake? Ask, did that person have the kind of life I want? If not, why am I carrying their belief like truth? Find proof that the opposite can be true. If you believe, I'm too old to start. Search. Who succeeded after 40, 50, 60? If you believe, I'm bad at learning. Find stories of people who struggled in school but became brilliant. Your belief is a lens. Change the lens, and you see a completely different life. Replace it with a better question. Instead of saying, why am I always like this? Ask, what would happen if I acted like the opposite was true? What would happen if I believed I can learn anything with time? I don't need to be perfect to start. I can rewrite my story. Your beliefs don't just shape your choices, they shape your daily habits, your relationships, your body language, your confidence, your emotions, your energy, your future. If you believe nothing will change, you won't take action. You won't try. You'll settle. And 10 years from now, you'll wonder what went wrong. But if you believe, I'm allowed to grow, you move, you speak, you learn, you build. You are not a tree. You are not stuck. You can update your thoughts like updating your phone. But if you don't, you'll run your life on outdated, broken, hand-me-down beliefs that never belonged to you in the first place. Challenge them. Break them. Choose new ones. That's how you begin the most powerful transformation of your life. Way 10. Measure your growth. What you don't track, you can't improve. Here's a dangerous illusion that destroys more dreams than failure ever will. I'm not improving. Many people quit too early, not because they weren't growing, but because they couldn't see their growth. That's why one of the most powerful investments you can make is this. Start measuring your personal growth. Not obsessively, not emotionally, but clearly, with eyes open. Because what you track grows, and what you ignore rots. Let's say there's a gym that removes all mirrors. People come in, train every day, sweat, lift, run. But after 1 month, they don't see any difference. They forget how they looked 30 days ago. They feel frustrated. They quit. Now imagine the same gym. But this time, they take a photo every week. Measure strength once a month. Track weight, sleep, water, energy. Suddenly, small improvements are visible. They see progress. They feel progress. So they keep going. That's the power of measuring growth. It makes invisible progress visible. What can you track in your life? Not everything, but the right things. Track things like English vocabulary learned this week, pages read this month, hours spent on your craft, money saved or invested, workouts completed, Bad habits skipped. Hours of focused work. Days you said no to something toxic. Messages sent to potential clients. Moments you stayed calm under pressure. These are not random numbers. They are evidence of transformation. You don't need an app. You don't need a fancy journal. You need awareness. Step 1. Choose 3 things you want to improve. Example: English speaking, daily reading, income. Step 2. Choose one small number to track for each. How many minutes did you speak today? How many pages did you read? How much money did you make or save? Write it on a paper, spreadsheet, or in your notes app. Step 3. Review it once a week. Ask, did I grow? What slowed me down? What helped me the most? What do I need to change? Progress becomes predictable when it becomes visible. When you track your growth, you don't compare with others. You compare with yourself. You feel encouraged when you see tiny wins. You build momentum. You avoid self-doubt. You improve faster because you can see what's working. You stop asking, am I growing? You start saying, I know I'm growing. Here's the proof. The reason so many people stay stuck is not because they don't grow. It's because they don't notice their growth. You water the seed every day, but give up before the plant breaks the soil. Why? Because you didn't track the roots forming underneath. Start measuring, because you might already be becoming great. You just haven't written it down yet. Way 11. Teach what you learn. Double your growth by sharing what you know. Here's a deep truth that most people never realize. You don't really understand something until you can explain it to someone else. And that's why one of the most powerful ways to invest in yourself, one that multiplies your confidence, your skills, your memory, your communication, your clarity, is this: teach what you learn. Not after becoming an expert, not after reading 100 books, not after getting a degree. Right now, the moment you learn something valuable, pass it on. When you do that, something magical happens. You understand it better. You remember it longer. You feel more confident. You help someone else. And you build your own identity as a contributor, not just a consumer. Imagine 2 massive digital libraries. Library A collects every book in the world, but no one is allowed to read or borrow anything. It keeps everything inside. Library B also collects books, but it allows people to borrow, to read, to learn, to teach others. It gives away knowledge every day. After 10 years, which one had more impact? Library B, because knowledge that's kept inside eventually dies. But knowledge that is shared multiplies. That's what teaching does. When you teach something, even something small, it changes your brain. It forces you to think clearly, organize your thoughts, speak confidently, make the idea simple, handle questions, repeat the information, which improves memory. And every time you teach, you grow. You're not showing off. You're activating the knowledge you already have and making it stronger. People think you need to be an expert to teach. That's a myth. You can teach things you just learned yesterday because beginners often explain things more simply than experts. Examples: learned 5 new English words today? Teach them in a 1-minute video. Read 2 pages of a book? Summarize the key idea in your own words. Learned a new Canva trick? Show it in a story. Studied one habit from a book? Explain it to a friend. Watched a powerful video? Share the lesson in a message. You don't need 10 years of experience. You need 10 minutes of courage and a heart that wants to help. Where can you teach? Social media. Post one tip you learned today. YouTube Shorts. Teach something in 30 seconds. Instagram Reels. Share a mindset, habit, or skill. WhatsApp groups. Send a summary of what you just read. Your family. Explain a money-saving trick you discovered. Friends. Share what helped you stay focused today. Students or younger siblings. Help them with studies in a fun way. You are not showing off. You are saying, "This helped me." Maybe it can help you too. That is service. That is teaching. That is growth. After teaching, you notice. Your brain recalls the information faster. You stop being afraid to speak. You start getting small compliments. Wow, that was useful. You feel like you own the knowledge now. You gain the ability to explain, which is one of the most profitable skills in the world. Every teacher becomes better at learning because every time they explain, they evolve. You don't have to be a master to share value. You just have to be one step ahead of the person you're teaching. Start small. Teach daily. Make it simple. Make it yours. When you teach what you learn, you invest in yourself and in others. And that makes your growth faster, deeper, and more meaningful than anything else. Way 12. Improve your relationships. Build the emotional environment where you can truly grow. Let's now talk about something deeper. Something most people never include when talking about self-investment. Your relationships. Because here's the truth. No one talks about enough. You can't grow in an environment that is constantly draining you. You can read 100 books, watch 1,000 motivational videos, write down your goals, meditate for hours. But if your daily environment is full of guilt, negativity, control, fake support, silent jealousy, constant criticism, then your progress will always feel like trying to climb a mountain with a rope pulling you backward. That's why one of the most emotional, important, and life-changing investments is this. Improve your relationships. Not quantity, not followers, quality. The people around you should make you feel safe, seen, encouraged, challenged, respected, loved, even when you fail. Imagine trying to grow a beautiful rose plant, but the soil is dry, toxic, and filled with trash. You water it daily, you place it in the sun, you talk to it, but nothing grows. Why? Because the plant was healthy, the soil was sick. Now imagine changing the soil. You remove the trash, add nutrients, give it air. Suddenly, the plant blooms. The same is true for you. Sometimes you are not the problem. The emotional soil you're growing in is. Signs you need to improve your relationships. You feel drained after most conversations. You hide your dreams to avoid judgment. You walk on eggshells, afraid to say the wrong thing. You feel guilted, manipulated, or constantly corrected. You feel less when you succeed, and they don't. You don't feel celebrated, only tolerated. You're the one always giving, supporting, and fixing. But no one does it for you. This doesn't mean these people are evil, but it means they are not your growth partners. Improving relationships doesn't always mean ending them. It means raising your standard and choosing what energy you allow near you. Set emotional boundaries. Example: I'm working on something important. I'll reply later. You are not rude. You are protecting your peace. Have honest conversations. Tell someone, I feel like I can't share my dreams around you. Can we talk about that? Reduce time with people who shrink you. You don't need to make a big announcement. Just start saying no more often. Spend less time. Use distance as medicine. Add people who grow with you. Join communities, classes, groups, and spaces where growth is normal. Talk to people who read, learn, support, listen, build, encourage, fail, and try again. Invest in emotionally intelligent people. These people are rare, but worth everything. They listen when you're low. They tell you hard truths with kindness. They celebrate your wins. Even if they're behind, they don't gossip. They grow. If your current environment keeps killing your confidence, you'll never feel safe enough to grow. That's why improving relationships is not a soft skill. It's a survival system. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer emotional landmines around you. You don't need 100 friends. You don't need a perfect family. You don't need loud, exciting, always there people. You need one or two people who love you unconditionally. A community that inspires, not competes. Distance from what's draining your spirit. That is one of the most healing and powerful self-investments in the world. Protect your energy. Choose your circle. Speak your truth. Set boundaries. And let your life bloom in healthy soil. Way 13. Build invisible skills. Master the tools. Nobody sees, but everyone feels. Let's be honest. Most people chase visible skills. Learning a software, practicing presentations, memorizing formulas, speaking fluently, showing a certificate, posting success on social media. And yes, those are important. But what separates the extraordinary from the average is something much deeper. The invisible skills. The ones you can't post online, but they control your entire life. Let me explain. What are invisible skills? They are the inner tools that make all your outer success possible. These include patience, focus, emotional control, deep thinking, discipline, self-awareness, decision-making, listening, energy management, time control, delayed gratification, mental recovery, clarity in chaos, thinking before reacting, doing hard things without complaining. You won't get applause for these. You can't post a certificate for these. But everyone around you feels the difference when you have them. Imagine an iceberg. Only 10% is visible above the surface, the part everyone sees. But the 90% that keeps it standing strong? That's below the water, invisible. Same with people. What the world sees, your results, achievements, confidence, is the top 10%. But the 90% that holds it up? That's your invisible self-control, your quiet focus, your inner strength when no one is watching. If you ignore the invisible, your visible success will eventually collapse. Ever wonder why? Someone with talent still fails? A smart student burns out? A confident speaker suddenly quits? A brilliant coder can't handle deadlines? A motivated learner gives up after 2 weeks? It's not because they lacked knowledge. It's because they lacked invisible strength. They couldn't handle pressure, failure, rejection, delays, boredom, criticism, self-doubt. They had all the skills, but no core strength. It's like building a luxury house on a weak foundation. Looks great, until the storm comes. How to build invisible skills. Step by step, practice silence. Silence trains your brain to observe, not react. It improves thinking, patience, and emotional intelligence. Example: spend 5 minutes a day sitting in silence. No music, no phone, just you and your breath. 2. Delay gratification. Choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure. Example: don't watch a reel before finishing 30 minutes of focused work. Say no to sugar now, so you say yes to health later. This builds discipline, silently. Respond, don't react. Take 3 seconds before replying when triggered. This builds emotional control, the superpower of mature people. Do boring tasks with full attention. Fold clothes mindfully. Clean your table with presence. Read slowly and deeply. Why? Because invisible greatness is built in boring moments, not flashy ones. Catch your self-talk. Every time you say, "I can't do this," change it to, "This is hard, but I can figure it out." Invisible rewiring, lifelong results. When you build invisible skills, people trust you more. You break old habits faster. You manage time better. You get promoted quietly. You make fewer stupid decisions. You stay calm when others panic. You win, silently. No one will post about it, but everyone will feel it. Your presence will say, "I've trained in silence. Now I move with power." If you only build skills people can see, you'll collapse under pressure people can't see. But if you build your invisible strength first, you become unshakable. This is not sexy. It won't get likes, but it will give you a life you're proud of. That's the ultimate reward. Way 14. Learn how to learn. Master the skill that unlocks all other skills. This might be one of the most underrated self-investments in history, but it's also one of the most profitable, powerful, and long-lasting. Learn how to learn. Let me explain something that 99% of people never realize. The most successful people are not the ones who know everything. They are the ones who know how to learn anything, faster, deeper, and better. If you learn how to learn, you can pick up any skill, adapt in any environment, recover from failure, stay curious, master new technologies, stay relevant, grow no matter what. This is the meta skill, the one skill that multiplies every other. Think of two people stuck in the forest. Person A has a heavy bag full of tools, knife, rope, hammer, flashlight, matches, etc. If one tool breaks, they're in trouble. Person B carries one Swiss Army knife, a multi-tool that can adapt. Who survives longer? Person B. Because when you carry the tool of learning, you can adapt to any challenge. In life, industries change, skills become outdated, but the person who knows how to learn anything becomes unstoppable. It means developing the internal system to absorb information faster, retain it longer, apply it practically, adapt it to new situations, improve your learning speed every year. This is how you future-proof your brain. Use the Feynman technique. Pick a topic. Explain it in the simplest way, like teaching a 5-year-old. When you get stuck, go back and learn again. Repeat until you can explain it clearly. This shows you what you really understand and what you don't. Spaced repetition. Don't try to memorize in one day. Review in intervals. Day 1, Day 3, Day 7, Day 14, Day 30. This uses how the brain actually remembers. Tools. Anki, Notion, simple notebooks. Active recall. Instead of rereading notes, test yourself. Ask, what did I learn yesterday? Can I explain it without looking? Can I write it in my own words? This improves retention 10 times more than passive reading. Chunking. Break big topics into small parts. Don't say, "I'm learning marketing." Say, "I'm learning how to write a good headline." "I'm learning about color psychology in ads." "I'm learning how email funnels work." Small chunks equals faster progress. Learn by teaching. We already covered this. But remember, the moment you teach something, you double your learning. Most people only learn within their industry, but the smartest learners take lessons from different fields and apply them in unique ways. Example: a business person studying psychology to understand customers. A graphic designer studying storytelling to design better brands. a language learner studying memory techniques used by chess masters. The more diverse your learning, the more powerful your thinking becomes. You can switch careers. You can recover after failure. You can adapt in any country. You can solve bigger problems. You can master new tools faster. You stop being afraid of not knowing because you've trained your brain to say, I can figure this out. And that belief is the most valuable software you can ever install in your mind. School taught us what to learn. Life demands we learn how to learn. And when you do that, you become free. You don't fear failure anymore. You don't get stuck. You don't give up after one try. You don't depend on luck or genius. You know that every skill is learnable, and that mindset makes you unbeatable. Subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. I will help you grow, not just in English, but in life, confidence, mindset, power, and purpose. And tell me in the comments, which part of this video will you apply from today? I'm waiting for your answer, because this time, there is no backup plan. Let's build your new life together.